Good afternoon, guys. This is Sammy Geek back here with another video, and today I have the Amazfit GTR 2E versus the Samsung Watch Active 2. These are two of my very favorite watches, and I've used them both. I wanted to give you guys a little bit of a review and my thoughts and my feedback. I'm going to go through looks, feel, battery, functions, and I will declare a winner at the end of this video and let you know which one is going to go on my wrist. Both of these are absolutely amazing watches. There's not a loser between these two. Each one has their own functionalities, their own strengths, their own weaknesses, and so forth. And I'll kind of buzz through those here for you guys and let you know my thoughts. Starting with the Samsung, the screen size is 1.4 inches. That is a 360 by 360 resolution. And the Amazfit is 1.39 and it's 454 by 454. So it is a slightly higher resolution screen than the Watch Active 2. And here's the interesting part is, again, they're both the same size screen, basically 1.39 versus 1.4. So they're the same size screen, but the Samsung Watch Active 2 is 44 millimeters. The Amazfit GTR 2E is 46 millimeters. So technically, if you like a little bit smaller watch, you might like the Active 2. If you like a tiny bit bigger watch, you might like the Amazfit. The interesting part is the screen to body ratio is technically then better on the Samsung. More screen, less body. So it depends on what you like. Also, again, the higher resolution on the Amazfit. So as far as weight goes, they're about the same. 30 grams with no strap on the Samsung, and you're talking 32 grams with the Amazfit. So again, that is interesting, right? Because this is a slightly bigger watch and it weighs only 2 grams more. So not even a noticeable difference. The thickness is about identical as well. I do have a little extra case and bezel on the Watch Active 2 here that because this is something new, I've been using the Amazfit here for a few days, but this is an older watch. I've been using this thing for weeks and months now. So I decorated it a little bit here. Next up, we have battery. That is another significant difference between these two. The Samsung uses a 340 milliamp hour battery and the Amazfit uses 471. That is a much larger battery. So let's start with the looks. It's obviously a little bit of a personal preference, but I'm just going to tell you straight up that I really, really like the Amazfit over the Watch Active 2. This thing just looks much more premium. And now if I take this little bezel and case off, this is what it looks like. It's a bright silver. I'm not a huge fan of the bright silver, and I'm not a huge fan of the black, but what you get here is like this really cool gunmetal. And obviously you guys know that I change out my bands practically every single day, and you can get packs of these bands for $20 for, you know, 8 different color bands. And so, you know, yeah, you could say the gray looks great with the gunmetal, but you know, you could change it out to whatever you like. This one comes with the gray band, obviously, as well. I've got green and red and blue and purple and every other color under the sun. Today I'm using a white one on this one. The difference also is, as far as band goes, is this is a 20 millimeter band. This is a 22 millimeter band. Still, hands down, Amazfit wins that battle on looks. Next up is feel. What does this thing feel? What do these feel like to wear on a day-to-day basis? I've been using the Amazfit for a few days, so I've got some feedback on that. I've been using this for a few weeks and few months actually, so I've got a lot of feedback on this. Honestly, I would say they both are put them on and an hour later you forget that you have them on. So both of them are equal as far as feel goes. The Samsung would edge out the Amazfit by just a little bit because the band is 20 millimeters versus 22. So you get a little thinner band. I found that during my workouts, if I crank this thing a little too tight, it was digging in my wrist a little bit. So when I would pull the watch off, I would see the marks in my wrist. I don't notice that as much with the Watch Active 2. Now it might be the band, but I suspect that it's the 20 millimeters versus the 22, the thickness. But hands down, I still think that this watch looks best, but they're both so close on feel. It's hard to declare a winner. If you had to edge one out, again, I'd go with Samsung. Battery life. you guys know where this is going based on the specs. And if you know anything about the Amazfit, if you're shopping for the GTR 2E, you already know the battery life is what makes this watch a freaking rock star. This thing is double of what the GTR 2 is, and basically you can go 15, 20 days with this thing. Out of the box, I haven't even charged the thing yet, and I've got to be at 65% battery power left on this thing. The Watch Active 2, being a 340 milliamp hour battery, and then also the operation system, this is getting me about a day and a half, 2 days. This is the reason that I wanted to try the Amazfit, is because I'm tired of charging my watch every day and a half to 2 days. I really, after having the Garmin's and the Fitbits, I'm spoiled, and I had watches that were going, you know, 3, 4, 5, 6 days. This thing is just freaking insane. So if battery life is the most important thing to you, see you later, Samsung. Don't even consider the Samsung. Go right to the Amazfit. One thing we didn't talk about was price. It's almost comical because when this watch came out, it was like I think it was $299 when this thing first came out. Now you can get this watch for about 200 bucks, 180 bucks. This thing was 140, and there's probably discounts that pop up from time to time. I paid 140 bucks for it. And the battery life, I mean, just absolutely annihilates the Samsung, and the price-wise, it's just such an awesome package. I mean, what a great smartwatch. So next up is function, and I want to spend a few minutes to talk about the functions of these watches. The first thing I should mention is the screen itself. Because of the higher resolution on this, it is so enjoyable to look at. I'm not saying the Samsung is bad, but there's a total difference when you look at these watches. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but I'll try and get a little bit of a focus here. If you look, see how just crystal clear that was. The colors pop, they're bright. The blacks are so black. The Samsung is not bad at all. It is a fantastic screen, but Amazfit is like next level. It feels like a watch from 2021. That is what this feels. This feels like something from 2018. Okay, that's the way I can describe it. Amazfit is just, once again, I mean, they're beating up Samsung. The next thing, again, using the watch on a day-to-day. When you're swiping on this watch and you're doing the different screens, if you'll be able to see that, everything is just fluid and smooth. There's no lag, there's no delay. Samsung is laggy. There's delay between the screens. When you press buttons to activate things, there's a delay. If you put it in, you know, for example, night mode, you press it and you wait about a half second or a second, and then it's like, oh, okay, now it reacts. And so it really gets a little bit frustrating, the delays that you see on the Samsung. So day-to-day functionality, I got to give it to the Amazfit on just ease of use, we'll call it. So there's a couple downsides though to the Amazfit. One thing is you are unable to respond to text messages. So if you get a text message on the Watch Active 2 and most smartwatches, you can at least send some sort of response. Sometimes you can actually type your own response. Sometimes you can voice your own response. With certain watches on Garmin's, there's pre-selected responses that you can choose. Yes, no, maybe, see you later, I'll call you later, blah, blah, blah. It's nice because if your hands are full and somebody sends you a text, you can quick slide over on the Samsung, I should say, and respond to somebody. You cannot do that on the Amazfit. That may be a deal breaker for some. For me, it's not the end of the world because I thought about it and I respond to a text message maybe once a week on my Watch Active 2. So with everything else the Amazfit brought, that was not a big issue for me. Also, music, you can put, Samsung allows you to put Spotify playlists on their watches. You cannot put it on the GTR 2E, but you can put it on the GTR 2. So if you want music, Amazfit does have an option for you. Now it's not going to be Spotify, but you can download your own music, and that's pretty cool. One other feature that I mentioned on another video that I like is if you pair this Samsung watch with a Samsung phone, you can silence alarms and snooze alarms and and cancel notifications and things from your watch, which is really cool if your if your phone starts beeping at you in the other room because you've set an alarm or a timer. You can cancel it from your watch, so you don't have to be there. The Amazfit GTR, there's actually an app that technically you can do it, but it becomes more of a hassle. You might as well just reach over and go find your phone. So I found that to be an option that's not there. Next up, as far as functions go, something that I found, there's a lot of positive with this watch. This thing is awesome. I absolutely love this watch. But for me, one of the biggest downsides is during workouts, you cannot keep the screen, the display turned on. In other words, with Garmin's and Samsung's and other watches, the workout screen stays on. It stays up, it stays in front of you. So as you're walking, running, lifting weights, doing sit-ups, whatever, you can be glancing at your wrist and see the timer and your heart rate and all the goodies for when you're working out. Now, the Amazfit GTR 2E turns on to the always on display, which again, I don't think you can see because of the reflection. It's actually really awesome. So in order to turn back on the Amazfit GTR during your workout to see the timer, to see your heart rate, where you're at with the workout, you do need to flick your wrist up and do the jazz hands thing in order for it to light up. So if there's one drawback for this Amazfit watch, one drawback, it is that. It is absolutely, these are supposed to be fitness watches. That is a big oversight by Amazfit to not display or not keep up. I realize they're trying to crank up the battery life, which is kind of their claim to fame here. But what a disappointment on that front as far as the workout goes. Now again, I absolutely love this watch because you got to take everything into account. The looks, the feel of it, the battery life, the overall smoothness, functionality, super awesome. It's just a great looking watch. It beats out Samsung. So who is the winner here? Who am I going to choose between these two watches? What do you guys think so far? I can tell you without a doubt that the winner is the Samsung Watch Active 2. Why is that? Well, it's because of what I just mentioned. I think you guys saw the build up to that. I absolutely love this watch, but not being able to respond to text messages and not being able to just glance down at my wrist and see the timer during my workout is a freaking deal breaker for me. I cannot have a watch that does not show me my timer, my heart rate and such when I'm working out constantly. I don't want to have to do jazz hands in order to see what's going on with my workout, where my heart rate is, where the timer is. I do sit-ups and planks and different things, and I look at the timer constantly on my watch. So here's the deal. If you guys are big into working out, you work out a ton, and you look at your watch a lot, the Amazfit will not be for you. It really is such a disappointment because it's a beautiful watch. It's awesome, it's comfortable, the battery freaking rocks, the user interface is just so fantastic, the voice prompts, I mean everything. I just absolutely love this watch, so I'm super disappointed to report that unfortunately, yeah, I'll be sending this back and I'm gonna be still rocking the Watch Active 2. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. I hope you appreciate this comparison here. If you are like me and you're considering the GTR 2E, if you can get past the workout screen going to always on display, and you can get past not having music, I guess that's another thing, but if you can also get past not responding to text messages, then this watch is a freaking winner. Hands down, this thing is a rock star, and I would recommend this thing 2 thumbs up, 100%, especially for the price, to most people, unless, of course, those 2 pieces of functionality that I mentioned. If that kill it for you, unfortunately, that's a bummer, but for everybody else, you're gonna absolutely love this watch. Both these are still, as I stated in the beginning of the video, My two favorite smartwatches on the market right now by a long shot. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. As I mentioned, thank you so much for watching. This one was a little bit longer, but anyone shopping, hopefully you got a few things out of it. Please do give me a thumbs up, of course, like every YouTuber says. And if you really like me, give me a subscription. I'll talk to you guys soon, and peace out.